Hey everybody, welcome back to Tara's Books and Beyond and I don't have enough fingers, day 17 of VEDUS. I have to go kind of fast today because I actually have plans after this and I have to leave like 10 minutes from recording this, so let's try and keep things short. First of all, I was able to finish The Tragedy of the Sith's Revenge, and even though there were some things that I wasn't certain about in here, I'm gonna give it a full 5 stars. That's right, 5 stars for a prequel play. But I won't go into lots of detail in this video just because I'm posting a full review on Goodreads, so you can go check that out. I will link it below with everything else. And so we move on to Born in the Storm by Daniel José Older. This story is about one of these stormtroopers who was involved in the search for the droids and eventually Luke and Obi-Wan on Tatooine. Specifically, this guy was not the leader, but he was part of the force that went to actually stop Obi-Wan and Luke, and then they got Jedi mind tricked and they just let them be. So this story deals with that a little bit, but it also deals with some other stuff that the stormtrooper is going through. Really, it got kind of weird by the end, actually, but in a really good way that I kind of dug. Basically, this guy, he's filling out the Imperial Incident Report about what happened with the search for the droids and them finding them in the docking bay and just missing them as they fly away in the Falcon. And during the entire initial search for them, the stormtrooper is having a completely miserable time. He doesn't like his commanding officers. He doesn't really like most of his squad mates either. The only thing he really wants to do is be part of the Mounted Division. He wants to get on one of those dewbacks and just ride across the deserts of Tatooine. He just thinks that'd be the coolest thing ever. Enforce the Empire's will. I mean, he's not super patriotic about enforcing the Empire's will, but if he's gonna do it, he wants to do it on the back of a dewback, dang it! But he goes about his duties just because he doesn't really have another choice. At least he doesn't until they get mind tricked by Obi-Wan. Because here's the thing, Obi-Wan didn't just trick the one stormtrooper that was talking to them. He tricked basically all the ones that were there. And from the perspective of the stormtrooper that is telling this story, as soon as he heard those words, as soon as the Force blanked his mind, he was basically all in on that. He was desperate for them to leave these people alone, desperate for them to just move along and ignore the droids, just get away from them, because I guess the Force, it makes the Force sound kind of like an Lovecraftian superpower, essentially, which it could kind of be, but hearing it from that perspective is just really chilling, but I love the way it was described. Now, I don't want to spoil this in its entirety because it took a few twists that I wasn't expecting, but basically, I think the implication is that the Force hit this stormtrooper a bit too hard, so I'll leave it to you guys to find the story and read it and see how it ends on your own, but for me, it was such a crazy way it finished off, and so oh, that's a 5-star one. That's a good 5-star story in here. Alright, so that finishes off this Express VEDUS update, but remember, of course, you can always subscribe to my channel and you can keep watching me vlog every day until Star Wars. You can also check my Instagram for semi-daily updates. I can't really call them daily updates right now because I'm not quite doing them daily. I'm sure I'll change it back once I get back on track, but for now it's just You can also look at my Goodreads. You can see how I'm progressing through these books. You can also check out my reviews because I've got The Sith's Revenge going up tonight, and I've also got the previous 2 plays. I've got Phantom of Menace and The Clone Army Attacketh. So after tonight, I'll have all 3 trilogy plays reviewed on my Goodreads, so you can check that out as well. And until tomorrow, I'll see you all later.